restructuring of debts never started from the UPND government. Let us get facts right. This company was brought in by the PF government. Now, I want to just give people certain highlights with what I've discovered, with what I've learned, with what people have told me. The PF people, as the UPND is trying to say that they overborrowed. Okay, quite all right. Every government, even the future generation, because it seems that once I want to be couple, tabakwata solution to cut on these issues, especially to do with it. Let us like and share so that ID destabilized. PF validated company, negotiations had started. Now, before PF, takulaisa coronavirus, which affected every economy globally, even up to now, countries are still just revamping from those crises. Probably the reason why PF stopped servicing their debts was due to the corona. I think you saw that even Zambia was a country where, even despite the corona, at least there were certain activities that were still being pushed. You know, in during the corona era, people were able to eat. Businesses, even if businesses were not so good, but at least people were still trying. So now, when UPND took office, by UPND Moisamu office, you actually seized everything. You stopped servicing loans because probably you were trying to put up certain things in place. But now, I want to ask people that are learned, because especially for my youths, we should reach a stage in life where we should not just receive any information that comes to us and we clap and we digest it and we sit and we get comfortable. This generation, we have internet. This generation, the technology is very advanced, that certain things, before we accept or before we are told, we should be able to say, okay, is this right for our ears to hear, for our eyes to see? The debt restructuring that the UPND praise, the president and the government should be very sincere with people. This thing has not even been consolidated. This thing has not even been finalized. So when I see on platforms to say, why are you alarming situations that have not even been finalized? People who know and understand, they know that this debt restructuring is still going. These are just primarily or preliminary stages that are going on. But they want to impress people with things that are just on paper. On paper, first stage. Just like a zygote mumala. So the government is clapping hands of something that has not even been finalized. Even themselves now, but this process has not been finalized. There are still stages that are still coming. I'm not normal. I'm better off than normal. It's okay. That is my own bed, my dear. So when a government comes in and sees to say, okay, about the previous government, like they are saying, number one, but UPND, that when they took over office, Zambia had zero money in the coffers. But I don't think a sensible government can leave zero. I mean zero. The balance sheet is just saying 0. I'm an accountant, even if I didn't finish, but I understand. So if they found, if they adopted or took over office with a zero account, or the government coffers were just bankrupt, as they were trying to put it, where did the money come from to recruit teachers? Where did the money come from to recruit our health workers? Let us like and share. Morning, Fimbi Fintu, Tuirala, the Fiabandunga, Valanda, that you're fighting government. Me, I voted for UPND. And it doesn't mean if I start to see some anomalies that are happening that I'm being bitter or frustrated. No, let us learn to be civil and formal sometimes, even as we handle issues. It's time Zambians became so civilized and updated in terms of people debating on serious issues. Let's celebrate a debt restructuring. Let's celebrate. Whether PF was a good government, it was not bad, but you used to eat. Did you die of hunger? So let us also appreciate. Do not distract me from my topic. Debt restructuring is not a bad thing, neither is it a good thing. It has its own advantages and disadvantages. So why hasn't the Minister of Finance come to explain to us, if we are grade 3, to say, what is the content, what are the conditions that are attached to debt restructuring? Because there's no way, even last time I said it, there's no way you can go to agreement with your lender, you as a borrower, and say, okay, but to extend. So are you telling me the interest rates will not be added up to whensoever time we're going to start restructuring? Now, a government that came in, I thought everything that was happening in UPND had solutions. UPND, I thought, because in Elero, now I want to give you a practical example. Umulume, alenja mama weakness from Kashwape. If I know that, okay, my mission is to take over Chilechupo, I should start to work on the wife's weakness, so that when I take over Chilechupo, I'm not going to have issues. 25 years of being in opposition was enough time for the UPND to put everything in place. Okay, a lot was said, a lot was done during the PF regime. Now, we give chance to a government that everyone believed in and said, okay, fine, we will take over the opportunity. Then they come and start to gamble in terms of governing. This is totally wrong. They proved to us nature issues, they proved that they had a solution. The electricity issue, they proved that they had a solution. People are actually rebuking our current leader because the kind of manifesto that he had put across, everyone has fallen prey, and we understand these things. How can we accept a restructure, right, without knowing the conditions attached? And this restructure that everyone is clapping for, it is a good thing because maybe government wants to see and plan, right? But my question is, you failed to service debts that your previous predecessors left. Add on, right? Now, 2 years by UPND, they've not serviced any loan. These things are practical things that I'm talking about. By UPND, 2 years, they've not serviced any loan. So, these 2 years that they've been so free, muchalo muri chipo away like never before, to start with. So, they come, nabo send $5 billion and $5 billion. Now, I pay na Kongola. Aba nabo bale chitakonde matvali Kongola. At least wherever they took that money, the borrowed money is visible. We are able to see our projects. You understand? We are able to see that indeed ABCD. Where has the $5 billion gone that the UPND came into office and also borrowed? Now, a country which has tourism, to start with, because probably when Makadam supporter, go on Google, and that's why the HH now Minister of Tourism, but if I go with a meeting na Edogan, a country Sojilites issue, it's able to service whatever loans that Zambia has. They actually recorded billions and billions and billions of dollars just over tourism. Excuse me. Tourism in India, it's able to service our loans. Let us be factual. We don't support because of supporter. Sojilites issue. Idia Inafe Sojilites, Luapula province is a blessed province. Let's talk about Northwestern province. Let us not seem so vulnerable because we elected leaders who have to sit. Problem is that government in Gayaisa, every government that comes in power does not want to follow a system. Countries like Botswana have got a maintained system. You cannot just be, instead of wasanga apaba teacher, chimonama teachers, teach our geography, bamucha transfer. For example, instead of putting a topic you have to communicate with the pupils more pace. You confuse people. So Zambia should have a system where even if we change a government, but there should be a stable system that first. That's why we find ourselves in confused situations like what is happening. Because who do want guys but at the end of the day, this debt restructuring, do we know when we are going to start servicing? So now, my point is this. A leader who came to save us, the poor people, during your time, move so free and relaxed, so that is Zambia going to develop? We better suffer now. Plan for the future, not for the present year. You were ready to face and actually take over a government that, as it has been proclaimed to say, it left problems there, and it left so huge because there's nothing in the eyes of UPND that PF has done that is better, which is bad. That's why the party no progress. Certain things you should just be realistic. Why didn't the UPND sit down and say, okay, Mwibantu? Because and I'm telling you, even after my UPND Bafumapo, okay, sir, West, because the problem has to be sorted now. We cannot rush to go and lobby for a restructure. Why didn't they lobby for a cancellation? They would have lobbied for a cancellation. Let us like and share so that it is not destabilized. They would have lobbied for a cancellation, which is better. But there's no way you adopt loans. Again, on top of those loans, you actually put in a loans on top. Yes, I criticize because I'm able to see reality, my dear. I'm not a Sojilites. Tourism. These are very serious components that can actually even help service those loans without why is it that African leaders vulnerability to the Western world even up to now? You are telling me Zambia has got no solutions that they can sit down and say, okay, fine. God has blessed us with maize. Why keep prisoners in prison for no reason instead of finding ample lands to actually put those people and they can grow enough maize just like President Dennis is doing, and they can be exporting maize with them in a more straight way, where a situation where each other sharing crisis, government can plan up all those things. Tourism itself, to share before they let us share. So why is it that the government can actually, that's why we have a Ministry of Tourism, we have Ministry of Agriculture, we have so many ministries, especially these same 3 ministries. They can sit down and say, okay, what is the way forward? I have a question, which man do I discredit all the time? We cannot be seeing the wrong things happen in my dear, and we should keep quiet. I don't discredit anyone, and I don't attack the president personally. I attack him according to how he's governing. Even last time I said it, and it is my democratic right. So if you don't want or you want to hear, why do you come on my page? I don't force anyone. Those that wants to listen to whatever I'm saying, even myself, I'm not right in everything, and I always say that, but I have a right to participate and actually give a comment with what I see. This is not right, because if it's in terms of accounts, I understand these principles. We are not going to develop as a country if we are all going to be running away from problems. The government kuti basanga strategy. Here alone without even lobbying for a restructuring. Don't you think that that's why I want to Western world, but they still even come to control if minerals, because we always show vulnerability. Are you telling me that a strategic plan? We better suffer now. And I believe you better, like I don't want to suffer in future, because I'm counting myself that at 35 years and above, God willing, stress. That's why I better avoid certain things now and enjoy later. So what is it that the government cannot make us? We better suffer now so that we clear those debts, so that in future, the future will be bright. To be part and parcel of the enjoyment. But to say in the future, we better suffer now. Suffer now. That's our sungu. They have even minerals that they have kept. Reserves. Government should be able to plan for the future, not just for the present. Suji lights, let us like and share. Suji lights. That's why the money that went to recruitment, government, that's why, impulse decisions affects people very badly. Mwaisa tamkwete plan na program wino. You already adapt, or rather took over government because instead of injecting that borrowed money into stuff that will regenerate, into a liability. I know people want employment, but government should learn to be real. With the way situations are, they would have actually faced a break on employing civil servants, because government has, as we speak now, especially in the service loans, I don't know where Zambia is going. I feel sorry, because I'm also a Zambian, and one day I will come to Zambia, and I've got relatives who are in Zambia. Tell me the income base that is so dependent that government has now as we speak. Do we have taxpayers? Do we have the private sector companies that are running and are able to pay huge taxes that will help government actually pay those civil servants? It is so unfortunate that certain people don't see these things on a realistic level, and every time a person talks, they think. That's why if we're Africans, we fail to progress, because even when someone is telling you the truth, you want to feel wow, nif. To be honest, if we are going to have leaders who, even when an outsider who's not siding with them criticizes or rather gives an advice and they can't take it up, because in terms of shame, they affect not themselves, but they affect the innocent Zambians that have got no voice. You should take keen interest in researching. Like I have said even in my preamble, let us like and share. If the Minister of Finance comes to us by grade 12, explains the narrative, or rather the context and the conditions attached to the debt risk. Like I said in my preamble, everything has got advantages and disadvantages. If the advantages, like I said, let us like and share. Advantages, okay, we are going to restructure these debts for a certain period of time, but we'll be servicing the interest. And our plan is maybe in the space of 3 years or 4 years, we'll not service these loans. But our plan and program, or rather strategy, is we are going to come and clear off all these loans. Maybe we're going to open up a ABCD and ABCD. This money that will be generated will directly go and offset all those loans. Then I'm not so down and stupid to come here and condemn government. I will give them a hand of applause, because I'll say, okay, fine. The reason they wanted the relief, they have this program, they have this plan. And that is all we are asking for, especially from the youths. It is so simple. No one is condemning the government. If they have, because what we don't want is us ourselves, because we are the future, to come and get affected, because politicians have got the same tone of saying, no, now if it happens, UPND is offset, because UPND is not here permanently. Even their time of going will come. Just like our PF. So what we don't want is the situation about to let us like and share. But our case, I don't know who God is going to put. But my UPND, we are not going to move forward. We are not going to progress as a country. And these are things for me personally. I love people to be honest and straightforward. I will not believe in you. I will know my position. So we need to know the position and benefits and disadvantages. They should be open and real to say money, because we are celebrating now, but in future it will be worse. Who's going to service those loans? If they have a plan, well and good. But if they want to escape from their responsibilities, then we are not going to accept as Zambians. I personally, I'm not a down chap, but I'm not an educated chap. I was at a Catholic school, and for us who had that privilege to be taught by whites, they'll make you understand, and you have a right to say, okay, I've not understood. And that's why I love to understand. I love to understand in everything, even those friends of mine who've interacted with me. That's why I don't promise people things that I can't do. And I also hate people who promise things that they can't do. You provoke me. Now, in my relationship, don't promise me what you can't do. If you want to do something for me, just do it, but don't promise me, because I'll not give you the peace. It is that simple. Let the Minister of Finance come and explain to the Zambians. Explain to us the benefits, just like the MD of ZESCO had explained about the load shedding. Let him come and explain. Give us the accurate information. But now, because these things have not even been finalized or consolidated, they are still on paper. We don't know the response, whether it will be negative or positive. But they are alarming situations like it is a done deal. It is not yet a done deal. So we need to see when it's done. We thank God if it will be accepted. Well and good. We need to see the Minister of Finance come to us as Zambians, explain to us. It is our right to know, because we are the ones who are going to be affected. Politicians will not be affected in any way. So these are realistic debates that we have to be having as youths. Not about debates. No. The opposition, the ruling should come. Youths who are from the opposition, who believe this is not right. Youths who are in the ruling government, who feel this is to our advantage and this will benefit the country. Let them come and explain to us. That's why youth have to, every opinion is valid. Every opinion is very acceptable, but it should be debated with diplomacy and with facts, so that you make the other one. Maybe my concept about this, I'm not fully aware. But honestly, if a person from the ruling government, especially from the Ministry of Finance, comes to us with accurate information, detailed, to say these are the benefits of the restructure and the plan for the government is ABCD, we should do the land against the government. That's why every course has got communication skills. Because communication to and from the receiver and the sender, two important sequences. Every course has got communication. I'm not going to blame the borrower. Even the ones that have come have borrowed. That's why I don't know why you are going to keep blaming about a government that is gone. We need to find solutions. No wonder we can't progress. You can't clean spelt milk. These are issues that we should not always politicize, because whether you talk about PF, it is gone. We need to see the solutions. Government can still find solutions without running to restructuring. We have minerals. What is the purpose of those minerals? If they cannot restructure debts, we have the tourism. Because the more transparency and sincerity, that is the only problem. And West African countries, youths, they started speaking with one voice, and I'm glad to go there. But Zambians have in parallel direction. You want to support even things that shouldn't be supported. Don't take politicians to be your relatives, because you don't know. Every politician is a business person. Let the government involve technocrats and not just politicians to sit and see the way forward of this country. There should be people, even in the private institutions, technocrats, as long as they have a say. So